From the Tech in San Jose, welcome to another Tech Close-Up. I'm Mark Albertson, and we're off on another journey across this incredible Silicon Valley and a visit with some of the innovative and brilliant minds that make this valley tick. In this month's program, we'll take a closer look at electronic recycling and see what happens to that old computer when it's finally done. We'll meet the future leaders of tomorrow, 7th grade entrepreneurs who get actual venture capital funding for real products. And we'll show how one agency in Silicon Valley is helping people overcome past problems and build new careers in the high-tech world. You know, if you look around your house, chances are you're going to find something electronic that you no longer use. But the question is, what do you do with it? Well, to find some answers, we recently visited an e-waste recycling center where what's trash to some may become treasure to others. You may not know it, but there's a law in California. You can't throw anything electronic, like a computer or a TV, in the trash anymore. So for thousands of old or broken monitors, desktops, or laptops, places like this recycling center in Sunnyvale, California, are the end of the line. And to the center's director, Stephen Wyatt, that line's growing out of control. There must be thousands and thousands of computers here, and yet, in terms of collectible or recyclable computers, this is the tip of the iceberg.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, yes.
Does that worry you?
Does it worry me? Electronic waste is growing 3 times faster than solid waste.
That's a lot of electronic trash, so much it's got its own name called e-waste.
As a matter of fact, let's talk about televisions. Right now, if you were to retire every television, you could cover the island of Manhattan in New York City, probably about 40 feet high.
California funds dozens of recycling centers where people drive up and drop off their e-waste. It's not free. You pay for it. Every time you buy a new gadget or monitor, you pay a recycling fee of $5 to $10.
We need to have industrial infrastructure to properly handle this material. It's out of the scope of one organization to deal with this. We need policy.
Brian Hamlin writes an e-waste blog, an online chronicle about e-waste issues and why private industry needs to get into the recycling act.
I think industry has shown amazing ingenuity when they put their will to it. And
if the money is there, then.
That's right, if the money is there. So we need to make a system where there is money available and they can apply the same engineering brilliance that they used to create these products to reclaim them at the end of life.
The answer is simple. The answer is bring it back where you got it. And I think we have to embrace what we call the extended producer responsibility. We have to have manufacturers involved. We have to have retail stores involved. And they have to take ownership of that responsibility.
The Industrial Revolution needs to finally mature and close the loop on how the material goes out and how it comes back in.
Local government agrees that the people who make e-products should be responsible for e-waste.
You cannot be left to government because all that does is produce problems as it relates to perceived taxes, perceived fees. When you think about it in a large picture, a big picture of recycling, who knows best but the manufacturer on how to manage those constituents of that product?
So, is this an example of one that's just been delivered?
This is an example of one that just came in.
All right, and
we know that this one right here is not going to be reusable.
You can't reuse it.
Can't reuse it. It's
Why?
too old.
E-waste amounts to wires, plastics, and metals that might contaminate or pollute.
So what are you going to do with it?
So what we're going to do is we're going to dismantle it for the constituent parts. We're going to take it apart. We're going to get the boards out separately. We're going to get the hard drive out, which can be shredded to protect somebody's data. And we're going to take the metal case, because the metal case will also be chewed up, and that'll be recycled.
the motherboard is gone and we can't replace it, well then we know we just we tear it down for parts.
Jolene Lyons tests out memory and motherboards to see if they still work. She's a retired psychotherapist who used to help straighten out human brains.
Now I'm on computer brains.
Jolene's a volunteer. Everything she learned about how to test or repair a computer, she learned on the job.
I'd always been interested in computers, but didn't know what to do or how to do it or anything. And so I happened to meet one of the instructors down here, Jack Burke, and he was telling me I had some questions about computers, and he answered the question. I was so impressed and in awe that I asked what he did, and he told me. And then I wanted to know, well, do you accept women, older women, and who no experience? Yes, come on down. So I got courage up, and in a couple weeks I came down, and they taught me everything I know. Think of what I'm getting. I'm getting hands-on experience. I'm being taught by some of the greatest people who've worked for some of the greatest companies. That's my pay, and the fun of doing it.
What Jolene and other volunteers do is try to save old e-ware. If it works, the center donates it to schools or nonprofit programs. But many are still too far gone. For instance, when laptops break, they're often too hard to fix.
Laptops are very difficult to repair, and there aren't good standards for reuse of the parts. So we're creating these laptops at a very high rate, but what do you do with them? How do you fix them? What do you do with them when it's time to dispose?
So we found ourselves at a place where we are throwing away products, and that's exactly the kind of incentive perhaps that needs to jumpstart the recycling of these products.
Now, some companies know the score. For instance, Hewlett-Packard runs its own in-house recycling center. But millions of waste electronics may still end as junk. Yesterday's gigabytes just don't meet today's demands.
What's truly amazing to me is you can get into a car that's 20 years old and the design will look a little different, but you'll put a key in, you'll start it, you'll put it in drive, and you'll go, just like you would a new car. And yet you have something here that looks, it looks almost exactly like a computer of today when you look inside of it, and yet no one wants to reuse this.
Well, if I had a magic wand, I would hope that they could actually make a computer that could be refurbished and could be reused forever. I would hope that the stuff wouldn't go into dumps and wouldn't pollute the water and pollute the air. And I would hope that everybody had the piece of equipment that they needed to do the work that they do, whether it's on a desk or in a school.
You know, the 7th grade was a time when most of us traded baseball cards or just tried to raise enough cash to buy a new bike. But recently, we found a group of 7th grade girls who've got some different plans. They are founding their own companies with actual venture capital and real products. Here's Christina King with a story that is almost too good to be true.
In 1981, I was 11 years old. I'll tell you how old I was. And I lived on a farm. We had a really long driveway. So we couldn't do a lemonade stand because nobody came by. So we decided to start a newspaper. And we wrote this newspaper, my best friend and I. We went through all the different neighborhoods, and we'd write about what was big and exciting, like Princess Diana. She got married that year, remember? And we wrote about Princess Diana. And then we wrote about Mr. Smith, who broke his arm on the fishing trip. And then we threw a recipe and a crossword puzzle and some jokes in there, and we had a newspaper. And it cost 10 cents per page, and there were 8 pages. Zoe, how much is that? 80 cents to cost, right? 80 cents. Shreya, where's Shreya? How much would you have sold that for? At least $1. Me? We sold it for 25 cents. You know why? Because I didn't go to the girls' middle school.
Have you ever dreamed that one day you would start your own business? Create an exciting new product that people would want to buy. Give yourself a fancy, important title.
I'm Callie German, and I'm VP of Manufacturing and Operations. I got this job because I'm organized and I'm good at making sure things get done before a deadline. I'm Alexandra Malai, and I'm VP of Sales and Marketing. I chose this job because I'm very creative and I love communicating with other people.
I'm Allie Simpson. I'm VP of Finance. I chose this job because I think it would be good for me to get more math into my life, and I'm great with concepts.
And best of all, get someone else to fund it.
And it really moved me that you guys wanted to create products that created joy with people. So thank you so much. Congratulations on your funding.
Well, for a group of 7th grade middle school girls, they got to experience all of that and more.
And this is a really great opportunity to show them how working with some adults out in the community, not their parents, we don't even put them with their parents who volunteer, they're adults who want to volunteer and help them. It just shows them how that extra guidance really can help them take their ideas to the next level. And it's the same way in the real world, working with a mentor.
It's called the Entrepreneurial Education Program at Mountain View's Girls Middle School. A few risks and plenty of uncertainties landed these 7th grade girls on stage here at Google headquarters in Mountain View, California.
Oh my gosh, these girls, not just my daughter, but I see all these girls that have grown so much from the beginning of the year to where they are now. And I know that they're going to grow and incredibly more even as the months continue. It's amazing.
But this is more than just an unusual business lesson. These girls are creating actual companies with real products and carefully designed plans that are examined closely by genuine Silicon Valley venture capitalists. And oh yes, the money and profits are real too.
The VCs are here in this nice panel here because they have expressed an interest in investing in our companies that we've created. And they've came this evening to listen to their presentations and decide themselves who and in what amount they are going to invest in the companies this evening. This is a fabulous opportunity for these girls because they get the funding to actually take their businesses to the next level, and we are going to spend the next 3 to 4 months after tonight running these businesses in so many ways, and their funding tonight is just what they need.
At the Girls Middle School in Mountain View, California, 7th grade students work in small groups to write business plans and make product samples. The products are creative and quite unique.
Our products are brownies, Carmelitas, magnets, and cross-stitch decorations. Carmelitas are caramel chocolate oatmeal bars, and cross-stitch decorations are hangable cross-stitch.
Our magnets are aimed mostly at everyone who can read, enjoys to laugh, and has dull or dreary magnetic surfaces in their home or office. Our cross stitches are aimed mostly at adults and mature children, and our Carmelitas and brownies are basically aimed at everyone who likes to eat sweet treats.
Each team develops a corporate image, logo, and tagline to match.
Our earring organizers are lightweight and come in a variety of colors so they fit in anyone's style. They also completely eliminate clutter from your jewelry boxes, so that means no more searching for the matching earring through your cluttered jewelry box.
Our hair chopsticks are a casual or formal way to put up your hair. You can wear them anywhere because they're lightweight and portable. If you stop by our booth, we'll gladly show you how to put them in, and so that you can wear them home tonight.
The hardest part, they say, is the presentation. You might say their nervousness is justified.
We practiced a lot in a wilderness setting, and so we imagined all of the people in the audience as trees, gophers, bumblebees, and ladybugs. So it was a lot easier for us to present that way.
The panel members are used to funding multi-million-dollar companies, but they apply the same principles to the girls' young companies in making their investment decisions.
When I'm looking for potential investments, I of course read the business plan, which I did before I arrived here, so I came prepared. I also like to really make sure that I understand the team that I'm investing in. So the first thing that Kate and I did was walk the floor when we arrived, made sure that we got here in plenty of time to go to each of the booths and meet each of the teams. I have to say it was a pretty impressive showing all the way around, but at the end of the day, one of the primary ways in which I made my decision was watching how my daughter reacted to the various booths as we went through. And I would have to say that the first purchase that she made was with the team that I'm going to be investing in tonight, and that team is the Dragon's Eye. The Dragon's Eye, if you can come up, please.
Some impressed and relaxed their judges, but all of them end up winners.
This is my 6th year of doing this, and every year the girls come back at the end of the year to talk about what kind of success rate they've had. And it's amazing how much they remember from the venture capitalist speech.
What really struck me when I first walked up to the booth were the uniforms. And at first I thought they were just a way to identify themselves and associate themselves with the company, but actually more importantly, as we got into talking about the products, there were some very popular products that had already sold out, but fortunately they had pictures on the backs of their t-shirt of what the products looked like. So I was able to get an idea of what I was missing and the opportunity to order them. They'd custom make them for me. So I thought that was just fantastic marketing and foresight.
And they will say, at the VC night, the entrepreneurial night, we remember that we were told that the importance of marketing, or we were told the importance of watching the financials, or the thing that they really liked about our product was this, so we did more of it, and it worked. And everything they walk away from here tonight, they remember, and they continue as they execute on their business plans to keep in mind.
Now that the presentations are over and the venture capitalists have awarded their money, the girls go back to their booths and they start selling once again tonight. Hopefully they'll make a little bit of money, but more importantly, the best part about this annual presentation is that not one of these girls' teams goes home empty-handed. In addition to the investment money each young company receives, they also go away from here with a sense of accomplishment and a renewed energy to go out and grow their business.
At the end of the program, each company is dissolved, loans and creditors are paid off, and a percentage of the profits are returned to investors and donated to a local charity.
We are asking for $100 to continue to advance and market our amazing products. You, the investor, will get your money back with 5% of what is left after we pay you back the $100. Then we will be donating 20% of our profits to Greenpeace so they can save the whales. Go whales!
Whether you're Dragon's Eye or Google, the measure of success in the Silicon Valley jungle is still the same. Who's made the money and how much?
Nice job. You guys did awesome. At the beginning of the year, this is not even in their imagination that they would do a PowerPoint presentation, they'd get up in front of 300 plus people and present their ideas and then get funding for their ideas. And I think they really blew themselves away that they were up here, they were beautiful, they were so poised, they presented so well, and most people in the audience would never come up here and do this. So I think they really amazed themselves.
For Tech Closeup, I'm Christina King.
For some folks, saving for the future is easy, but for you, it might take a little more effort. Saving for your future is your responsibility, and there's a lot to save for.
I never thought of that.
Like your child's education, perhaps uncovered medical expenses, or just to be sure you can live the way you want when you retire. The time is now to save for tomorrow. Save now or work forever. The choice is yours. Choose to save.
You know, we've all probably seen or known some folks whose lives have taken a wrong turn into homelessness, substance abuse, or both. Well, here in the Silicon Valley, there's a number of programs designed to help people overcome those problems. And recently, we visited one center where some men and women are preparing their lives for a whole new direction.
She's no stranger to the computer, but even with a college education, Rose Lavacek is having to relearn everything. A longtime drug and alcohol addiction has stolen her memory.
I just thought it was hopeless. It was just not even worth trying to change my life, you know, and I stayed in my addiction as a result of not having any hope. And when I got here and they showed me that, I can learn again.
How are you doing? Good.
They are the staff and volunteers at San Jose's City Team Ministries, a Christian rehabilitation and outreach program giving men and women a chance at a new beginning. Rose Lavacek and the others here are part of the ministry's Job Link program, re-educating those in recovery.
Our high school grads and even our college grads have areas where, because of drug abuse, long-term drug abuse, they have memory loss and they have comprehension loss.
Their hope is to return to the work world clean and sober.
I had a head injury in 1991 and it wiped out a lot of memory of computers, math. I've was retaught to do a lot of things in my life, but twice I've been to school to learn how to do computers, and I could never get it.
14 months sober now, Rose will graduate from the Job Link program with newfound self-respect, but with little else, including a decent outfit for a job interview.
We're going to go look at the clothing closet, and when we get clothes from the Capitol Club, we actually get clothes from a lot of places, but that's a huge one. They come in and they are sorted according to somewhat size and profession, and you'll find men's clothing in plus sizes. They don't put everything out at once, or it would all disappear. You'll notice there's even children's clothes. We get moms in here with children that need clothing. So this is a place they can come and shop for free. We call it the shopping gallery, and they get a bag and they can just, they have a good time shopping.
With no price tags to worry about in this warehouse of donated clothes, City Team clients can focus on what counts.
We'll come in and we'll try to find at least a nice outfit to get interviewed in. I will show them what might look good and professional on them. I might take a jacket and say, you know, this is a little dated, and it's a size 2. So it's gonna, one of the things we say is, Miss Kathy, I love it, but it's too little. The women will look at this, and they don't always have an imagination of how it is to look professional. So we'll talk about, well, let's put a scarf on this and put a pin on this, see how it will look.
And it's not just the women who will go on those interviews. Rick Whitney has a doctorate in engineering. He's been sober for 7.5 months now, and he hopes to go to work in the tech industry after losing everything to an alcohol addiction.
What this program has done for me, and all the way from the Learning Center to the transitional points to finding employment, is that I've established relationships on the outside that have allowed me to get support groups, so in the transition phase. And City Team supports that.
Newly sober Alex Espinosa has a long road ahead of him, but he says he knows he's in the right place.
I just keep on learning new things every single day. It's a never-ending learning process.
Alex and the others here aren't ready yet to dress for an interview, but the clothes in City Team's giant closet will go fast. The ministry helps an average of 125 clients a year find employment through its Job Link program. Where do the interview clothes come from?
It's about giving a hand up, not a hand out.
Lynn Gross-Surf chairs a committee called City Connections at San Jose's Silicon Valley Capital Club.
The City Connections Committee's mission is about connecting the Capital Club and its members with things going on in the community.
Lynn says Capital Club members put a call out to the community to gather professional-looking clothes, knowing full well the importance of that first interview.
First impressions are lasting. When you walk in for a job interview, no matter how skillful you are, people are going to read you. They're going to look at you.
Capital Club members bring in so many donations, they also give to another group working to put people back into the workplace. Sacred Heart Community Service in downtown San Jose works with more than 300 clients a year in its outreach job program.
We have a really wonderful relationship with Capital Club, in that they provide us at several points during the year wonderful professional clothing, really nice quality. And for our customers that are the working poor and the homeless, they don't have the finances to purchase the kind of professional clothing that's needed for interviews and for their work sites. So this gives us an opportunity to give them a couple outfits that they can use until they get their first paycheck, when they can begin to supplement their professional clothing.
Helping women and men in recovery get back on their feet.
And it's not just career clothes that we're talking about here. Outside of the City Team building, you'll find sorters going through everything from household goods to furniture to clothes, of course. And over there is a warehouse filled with food. And inside, the computers you saw, a lot of those were donated as well.
We help them wherever they need to be helped.
And these people have been down and out beyond, you know, the stories are just incredible. I mean, from my perspective, I've been very blessed. And they're being introduced here at City Team to technology that it's like they didn't computer, and it's like that's something in somebody else's world, and now it becomes part of their world.
A world of hope is what Rose Lavacek now sees, thanks to a solid program, caring mentors, and people she'll never meet who opened their closets and their hearts.
But I'm not willing to give up on myself anymore.
For Tech Closeup, I'm Christina King.
Well, it's time for another Tech Bites when we look at a little bit of nifty science. And Judy Peterson from the Tech is here with us. And I would say that this is a little bit more than nifty. What are you doing with these cats?
Well, the idea of this is to build a raft and put a cat on it, and then we're going to slide it into some water and see if it floats. And so the whole idea is for children here to learn about buoyancy and construction and other engineering principles. I can tell you this one's a little bit wet right now. We haven't tried this
So these
one
kids
yet.
are actually building these rafts to try to have a dry cat.
Exactly, because we all know how much cats like water.
Now this is a new exhibit, so this is like a dry run, if you will.
Very good. It is a brand new exhibit. It's called Idea House. It's going to be open until the end of the year, and there are a lot of fun elements to it besides our Captain Cat's watercraft. We have also a place where you can try to get a snack from the kitchen into the living room without getting up. Real Jetson stuff here.
The couch potatoes. Now we're going to actually try to see if these things are going to work.
So you have to put it up here and then let it slide.
So, okay. So we put it here and just, let's see, is the cat going to stay dry? Well, not bad. I mean, he got a little bit waterlogged at first, but it's...
But you know, he could go across the pool.
No, he can just, shake and shiver and keep dry. Wow. Let's see about the second one. All right. Where's the cat? Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oops.
No, that is a wet
Thumbs
cat.
down.
That is a wet cat.
My cat would be looking like a drowned rat.
My
at this
cat would be
point.
very unhappy too.
Yes.
But that's interesting. So kids can learn here some engineering principles and some science principles from this.
And we've trained all of our volunteers to help them, and they know sort of some little sneaky things you can do to make it buoyant. So it's a real fun place. In fact, Idea House was here for a little bit last year. It was so popular that when we took a survey of our visitors, they said, "Can you bring it back?" And so it's back.
All right, so we ended up here with one wet cat and one dry cat in a fairly new exhibit. And how long is this going to be open till?
This will be open until the end of the year. Very popular, so we're going to keep it much longer this time around.
Oh, it's a wonderful little addition here to Tech Bites. Thanks for joining us on Tech Closeup. We're fortunate to work with some great people behind the scenes who put Tech Closeup together every month. And this program in particular marks a change in our host station. We're pleased to announce a new partnership with Peninsula TV, now the primary production center for Tech Closeup. Of course, you can stay up to date about Tech Closeup and check for listings of the broadcast times on your cable TV outlet by getting listings on our website, techcloseup.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Levinson. And remember, if you want to stay close to the technologies that run this dramatic Silicon Valley, well then join us next time for another edition of Tech Closeup.